Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC, so let's just dive in, and let's start with this tweet here from Utility Ethereum. We do see citizens, I've been preaching this for over a year. It's awesome to see the underdog ecosystem XDC getting the attention it deserves. XDC Network is well positioned to revolutionize global trade finance. Their ultra low fee platform features dApps for securely tokenizing assets in an effort to allow micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, easier access to funding. And we've been focused on the SME area for a very long time. In fact, going all the way back to October of 2020 with Ripple, we did see fund instant cross-border payments with a line of credit from RippleNet. Again, this was centered on SMEs through on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP, as you guys do see down here. Unlike incumbents who have large balance sheets that allow them to scale their businesses quickly, many fintechs and SMEs lack the capital and resources to compete. Faced with stalled growth, customers turn to creating bespoke credit arrangements with each partner in each destination market. Each arrangement requires additional overhead and management, making it a slow, burdensome, and ultimately inefficient process. So when we look at SMEs, they are struggling to get any sort of funding. So this is actually a huge use case for, again, Xinfin and XDC, and I really do think that this is a big focus point, and I think that everyone should be watching this area closely, as it kind of, I would start to say, it's starting to unravel at a very rapid pace around the SME market. And some of these major projects have already been ahead of the curve, as it does get really kind of spotlighted so far. And also shout out to CryptoNair D over here. We do see XDC, the Electronic Trade Documents Bill, will boost the UK's international trade, already worth more than £1.4 trillion, and will reduce the estimated 28.5 billion paper trade documents printed and flown around the world daily. This is absolutely massive. When you see over here, the bill will have its second reading when parliamentary time allows. Chris Southworth, Secretary General, ICC United Kingdom, said the publication of the bill is a game changer with huge economic gains to be made for trade. If companies digitize systems and remove paper, trade plays a huge role in the global economy, so digitization is vital to establishing a more sustainable system. Real-time transactional data will enable us to gather far richer, more insightful information to help us track and monitor the flow of sustainable goods and finance across the system. This is simply not possible if information is held on paper documents. This is absolutely huge. And we also do see down here, the UK is a world leader in digital trade, but currently the law does not recognize the possibility of processing electronic documents, which prevents industries going fully paperless. This is costly and inefficient, and we do see down here the UK is a world leader in digital trade, but currently the law does not, and this is basically what we just read. This bill will allow businesses to choose to use electronic trade documents, but does not force them to do so, allowing them to use practices and processes which work for them. It will set a vital precedent for all sectors and industries using English law as a basis for international contracts, including across the Commonwealth. Commonly used documents in the UK for trade in or transport of goods, which the bill will enable to become electronic, include, and then they do mention a ton of documents that could fully be digitized and revolutionized by this bill. And I do think that this is a huge area of focus. I think that this is going to be a big game changer, and I think that everyone should be focused on this with, of course, XDC, because they are the powerhouse behind this sector. And we do see over here from Impel as well, starting today, useful and meaningful software development is happening on the XDC network's blockchain DLT. As the saying goes, get on board or get left behind. Sorry. And we do see down here, XDC Network teams up with some of the largest names in crypto: Coinbase, CoinDesk, Polygon, HackerEarth, and more for an online global hackathon to build the future of Web3 on XDC Network. And this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait until we see XDC get the recognition that it deserves. I really think that going forward, we will see a lot more major updates happening around Xinfin and XDC. They are really kind of positioning themselves as a major leader around not only the trade finance area, but also around crypto. And I think that it's only a matter of time before the value perceives it. XDC has, for the most part, been under wraps, and I think that's been overlooked greatly. And I think that's only a matter of time before that changes. We do see over here GTR US 2022. This is going to be happening in New York, the United States leading trade and supply chain financing conference. This is going to happen on November 29th, 2022. This is actually huge. Look at some of the major names that are tied to this. Some of the largest banks out there, Bank of America, Barclays, and there's so many other ones here as well. Santander, Standard Chartered, MUFG, so many other ones. Look at all of the other major sponsors as well. Some of the largest names out there. Lloyds Bank is here. Contour, which is a huge trade finance giant. Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan. Like trade finance markets. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Then, of course, down here, look at the other major sponsors. Impul, huge. Moneta Go, ITFA, interesting. Some of the biggest names out there around trade finance are going to be a part of this, and it's only a matter of time before we do see, like I said, Xinfin being positioned perfectly at the core of the trade finance market. I really do think that going forward, that everyone will know their name. It really is going to take some time, but it's time that I think that we should all be willing to wait. And we do see over here from Crypto KJ2, the bear market is allowing digitization and tokenization to bridge and replace legacy systems. Don't get pushed out of crypto because of negative headlines. Be patient. Remember, initiatives like this, TFDI, have been paving the way for years, XDC. And yes, they have been creating a blueprint for global trade finance distribution, digital. I'm telling you guys, like when we look at what's happening around a lot of these major markets, everything, and I mean everything, is moving digitally. We've been mentioning for the longest time a few markets that I think that could benefit greatly from being digitized, and it really is just spreading into every single major industry. And when you look at who's backing Xinfin, some of the major names that are behind the scenes really kind of moving gears, it's some of the largest names out there, and it's names from huge companies like Swift, for an example. It's only a matter of time. And like I said, them being like Impul, right? Impul is the big giant here because, yeah, sure, you're not going to see Xinfin perfectly positioned here, but you are going to see, for example, ITFA, which, again, Xinfin plays a vital role within. Impul as well, huge giant behind Xinfin. They're perfectly positioned here, sitting next to, and I know that they are just, sponsors and things like that. I get it. But look at all of the major names that are a part of this. We've broken down Contour before. They are a huge giant. I think that we broke them down with not only XDC, but also even QNT. And then there's just so many other major names here that are a part of this entire event. And this is going to be happening on November 29th. Now, I don't know if they give us a little bit of an overview, but so yeah, we see a little bit of a discussion behind this. It's talking about digitization, things like that happening around, trade finance, and how to really kind of cause this disruption that's ongoing right now around trade, and how to optimize working capital. I mean, how else will you optimize working capital than removing all the inefficiencies around trade finance, as well as really kind of focus on the rapidly rising cost of goods and financing. I mean, this is going to be a huge area. Digitization is going to come up. I'm telling you guys, this is where we are focused on this channel, into processes that could be fully disrupted, that need to be fully disrupted, because again, they are becoming extremely expensive. They're extremely inefficient. They need, and I will say this, they are currently ripe for disruption. And trade finance is a perfect industry that is ripe for disruption because of the cost and inefficiencies that plague it. And we do see over here from Crypto Nerdy again, XDC, a rising tide lifts all boats. Make Corda the go-to place for financial services, and in this case, trade finance, DASL. And we do see enterprises software company R3's Corda network, backed by many of the world's largest banks, is following the general trend towards public-facing blockchains. Announced Tuesday, a group of former RBS bankers, now known as Lab 577, is bridging the way for Exchange Infinite, Xinfin, a blockchain focused on trade finance space. Its native token, the Ethereum-compatible XDC, will be used as the settlement coin inside Corda. This is huge. Then over here, we do see a number of trade finance applications are being built on Corda, such as the TradeIX-backed Marco Polo project. So will these existing trade finance players be getting around the campfire with XDC and singing Kumbaya? We don't know. I think it's more of a case of a rising tide lifts all boats. This is continuing to make Corda the go-to place for financial services, and in this case, trade finance. And I do think that R3 Corda is a huge player. And by the way, For anybody that did want to connect the dots between R3 Corda and Xinfin, well, here you guys have it from Impul. Our CEO and founder, Troy Wood, spending quality time at the inside_R3 booth at CBOS 2022 talking about Impul officials, Corda blockchain bridge to the XDC network, blockchain DLT, instant settlement, and this is very interesting. It's funny, right? Because when we look at some of these major players like R3 is a huge giant, by the way. Like, they are one of the largest players around this entire market. I don't know if they have. So if we go over to, I seen it on their. I think it might have been in solutions. Let me go down here real quick. I know that they have some of the largest names in the game. Like, for an example, if we come down here, like, here's some of the financial services that they offer for some of the major names out there. The DTCC is a part of this. HSBC, ING, SDX. Truist, Wells Fargo, SIA. I mean, these are some of the largest names in the game. And I don't know if it was on R3's website, but there was an area on their website where it really kind of showed some of the industries that they are a part of. I think maybe I want to say maybe it was under Corda, I want to say. But it was mentioning trade finance as being a perfect area of them to really kind of focus on and disrupt. And it's funny, right? Because they are building out a bridge to, of course, Xinfin, which for the longest time has been the only major blockchain out there focused on this market and this industry. And I think that it really kind of speaks volumes with them really kind of being positioned and talking to R3 about this major bridge. Again, I always say that you need to watch the breadcrumbs. Pay attention to the connections. Try to connect the dots. Understand the value proposition that is being held behind some of these tokens like XDC. I know that it kind of gets tiresome hearing about, all right, trade finance, but you got to remember that some of these tokens are specifically designed to not only disrupt, but they're really kind of perfectly positioned to be the settlement token within some of these major industries. I always talk about XRP with, in cross-border payments, XDC within trade finance, Q&T. I mean, we already know where Q&T is positioned. I mean, come on. It's basically the operating system for what's to come. I mean, you could see everything happening around this industry, around crypto, and it really is something special. It's exciting being a part of this market and being a part of some of these tokens before anybody else really kind of sees the value behind them. I always say, like, the best part about crypto is being a believer when nobody else is. Doing the research when nobody else is, being a part of the journey when nobody else is, and then all of a sudden, when they finally see it, when they finally realize what's happening, they want to jump on, and that's funny, right? Because we're already ahead of majority of the public, and once they see the value here, they're going to be astonished, and we're already going to be like, dude, we already knew about this. That's exactly how some of these tokens work, like Casper, like Q&T. We all are a part of this XDC journey, and we are already seeing it before anybody else does. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.